where did Fitness Society come from?
Okay.
Because I think a lot of our customers don't know where it came from, and it's just like, oh, a few people opened a supplement store. Like I was talking to Bobby yesterday, and he's like, a lot of people don't even know you ever competed.
Yeah.
I mean, because I wasn't in Florida at the time of competing.
Yeah, I mean, we've only been in Florida for a short amount of time. Me more so than you. You've been here for 6 years now.
Yeah. So I think go all the way back to, high school wrestling, and even before that, the NPC, Natural Ohio, and Natural Northern.
Well, I think if we go back even further to the way our parents raised us and the environment we grew up in was like very active. We started wrestling, and both of us started wrestling in second grade.
And I think baseball even earlier. I think we were playing baseball at like 4 or 5 years old.
We never weren't doing anything. We always had to play a sport, and our summer times were always fun. We got to enjoy ourselves as kids, but at the same time, like we were pretty...
A lot of outdoor stuff.
Yeah, we always had a lot to do.
No junk food in the house. Like,
no,
Mom never had soda. Dad did.
We got to drink 7-Up when we went to our dad's house, but other than that, no. My mom didn't carry pop. She didn't... No sugar foods. Everything, honestly, was from the garden that we ate. But once we got into wrestling, that kind of took over the majority, I think, of our childhood.
And the athletics part. And no more baseball.
Yeah, no. When we started wrestling, I think you were third grade, fourth grade or something. I think I was in second.
Yeah.
You started. I went and watched a couple practices, and then I started about 2 practices in. I was like, this looks fun. Want to do what my older brother's doing. And then it went from being that young and starting in a sport like wrestling in Ohio, where it's a huge state for wrestling. I think it got serious pretty quick. I mean, we were both good. We were both wrestling every single day, and on the days we didn't have practice at our school, our mom would take us to a school near us.
Another practice.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have practice tonight? Darren called.
Yeah.
He said you guys can come over.
You got to go to
Catholic
college coach.
Yeah, Jefferson or college coach, or the college coach is coming to the house because we had a wrestling room in our basement. So that was another thing. If we weren't, at wrestling practice, we were downstairs messing around in the wrestling
room. And
then
we added to the mats, and we turned the whole basement into mats with Brad's mats. Remember that?
Yeah, our whole basement was dedicated to wrestling and
we'd
fighting.
Host our own practices,
and basically if you were at our house just hanging out, you were probably going to box or fight someone in the wrestling room. So we were always doing something. We were always active, very competitive, natured.
And we had the weight rooms at home too.
Had a weight room too at both my mom and my dad's house.
I think we have videos. Maybe we'll pull those up and try to drop them in the video.
That's what I was thinking. We got to
drop any videos in this.
I was gonna say we need to like Joe Rogan is like right there with his computer guy. Hey, drop this video in there.
We'll get some older clips to drop in here, like us
as
training
we're talking
at young ages.
We got to go to Dad's for that.
Yeah.
We'll go to Dad's and collect all the stuff because we have videos of us benching. We have videos of us working out.
Yeah.
We can pull up all those old videos of us fighting.
A little proof of how long we've been around. But fast forward to like 13, 14 years old and like early teen years, we started going to the competitions. And that was our real like intro into the supplement world and fitness industry.
Yeah.
Which, Dad always fed us protein shakes and stuff and creatine and whatnot.
Yeah, but, our dad was huge into bodybuilding before we even knew what it was. Like he loved it. I mean, he
definitely started it. He was the reason.
Old school bodybuilding magazines laying around the bathroom, the house. I mean, he was just always, it was always in our face. We loved it too.
I think we watched Pumping Iron at the age of like 10.
Pumping Iron. We must have watched like every Mr. Olympia.
And then Generation Iron came out.
Generation Iron, yeah.
The first one that was the only good one.
Yeah, so our dad was taking us to these bodybuilding shows when we were like 12.
Yeah, 12, 13, 14, we got introduced to it, and by 16 we wanted to compete.
Younger.
And by 17 was the first time I competed. And then you competed with me at the Natural Cleveland, or the Mr. Cleveland.
15 at that time.
Yeah.
So once we got into the bodybuilding and everything, and it kind of sprouted, again, that's why we brought up wrestling, is because the bodybuilding and the training kind of stemmed from wrestling. Like our dad wanted us to get stronger for wrestling. So once we got into weightlifting, and then we were kind of like, wow, actually, I think both of us enjoyed it more than wrestling.
Yeah.
So we were like, this is really what we want to do.
And that was a big like pivotal point. Like mom and dad were not thrilled when we transitioned. I think I wasn't able to drive for 2 weeks. Mom took my car keys
Yeah,
away.
it definitely wasn't an easy transition to quit
But
wrestling.
it's
and go
funny
to
looking
lifting.
back how huge that change was, because like say I stayed in wrestling and went to college to wrestle. Instead, I went into the supplement fitness industry, competed, and we're not to forget Angelo and Kristen, meeting them at their grand opening of their store.
That's also got to be one of the most influential people in our lives.
Absolutely.
Is Angelo, Francis, and Kristen. They
Fitness First, definitely. They really introduced the supplement industry to us.
Yeah.
What I was getting at with the shows is we met people like Joe Toth, Ben Hartman, Dave Lieberman,
Phil Heath, Jay Cutler.
Phil
I mean,
Heath,
we were
Jay
getting
Cutler.
introduced and meeting all of these high-level pros and Mr. Olympias and very, really smart older people that were in the industry that kind of took us under their wing and gave us good advice and showed us along the way.
So then a couple of years later, you reached out to Ed Connors, and that's when we went to – that's, I feel like, when we really made our dent early on in the industry. I think you were 16. I was probably 18. Well, I must have been 18 then. And meeting him and actually talking to like CEOs of companies and professional bodybuilders and them talking to us with respect because we were with Ed Connors. Like,
and at the age we were at.
It was crazy.
And the success we were having in the sport of bodybuilding with our physiques, I think we got a lot of attention even before Ed, because of how young we were and how developed our physiques were, just because we'd been training already since we were, God knows when. Dad had us in the basement lifting and doing, calisthenics, and we were just always doing, hey, do push-ups, let's bench the bar, let's squat. So, once from a young age, we were already pretty developed and had built a base, and we had a lot of knowledge too. We were very knowledgeable for how young we were. Yeah, I think it caught a lot of people's attentions, and we weren't just talking talk. We were actually competing. And
while
doing
we were
really well
while we
at
were
shows.
training like bodybuilders, everyone else was just maxing out on bench press and clean and jerk in high school.
And then we were winning shows too, though.
Yeah,
that at the Mr.
I never
Ohio,
got as close as winning, but I got a lot of second places.
Well, you won your class in the Mr. Ohio.
I don't think so. I think I always got second. I got second. My first show ever at 17. I know I got second in teens, and I got fifth in men's open.
Okay.
But I was pretty pumped about that.
Well, we were
17.
like 16, 17 years old, and easily the youngest people in the whole entire show every time. So that alone got us a bunch of attention. So people started recognizing us. And being in Ohio, a small state, it's not that massive a state. We were pretty well known in the area of Cleveland.
Yeah, our
Ohio.
YouTube channel at the time was doing well.
Yeah, for bodybuilding and just for how young we were, basically. And then as we got a little older, 17, 18, we started talking to Ed, I think actually around 16 or 17.
I think you were 16 and I was 18.
Yeah, so when we started talking to Ed, that was a big pivotal point because Ed kind of took us under his wing big time. And he's such a well-respected person in the industry.
We met Blackstone Labs, who's
PJ Braun.
PJ Braun, he literally gave us his phone number. He's like, if you ever need anything, text me.
We had contact with all these high-level people, all these big names in the industry.
Do you remember
we could just contact them and talk to them?
How much product we got home to after the Arnold, after going with Ed? I think we had like
over
$1,000 worth of product
stuff. Yeah,
just sent to our house.
Ed took us to the Arnold, basically said, I'm going to get you guys a sponsor. You guys are young. You guys are like dedicated to sport. Like, people will love this. This is great. So he took us, and I never forget, we just started skipping lines. If you went to the Arnold Classic, you had to wait in line.
He would just do this.
Yeah, you had to wait in line for like 2-3 hours to meet who you wanted to meet. Well, me and Connor had already met these people, so we never waited in line.
Remember,
we were just like, I've already met him a million times.
Chase will like this. Remember Chase? We see him in line for Steve
Cook, 4 hours.
We literally went through the whole expo, came back, and he was like 10 people forward.
It's not what it used to be, though.
No.
There's lines aren't like that anymore.
It's died down a lot.
But 6-7 years ago, the Arnolds were insane. So
there wasn't
able to skip a whole
there wasn't
line.
like social media where you could like literally track there was social media, but it wasn't so intense where you can track these people's lives.
Yeah, you wanted to meet them.
You wanted to meet them.
You wanted to meet them. You didn't feel like you already knew them.
Yeah, now it's
you saw them in the magazines, Muscle and Fitness, And then once Ed took us to the Arnold that year, we saw how much power and respect he had, and then he was like, he got us I think 3 different companies to send us product, and
that's where we started like kind of like bouncing around affiliate sponsors and sponsorships. We worked with New Breed was a big one that was really good to us.
yeah, New Breed was great.
Vaccine Labs.
Vaccine Labs was great.
I don't know about sending pro hormones to kids, but whatever. And then Labrada Nutrition.
Yeah,
We worked with that
Labrada
a
was
little bit.
sick.
That was a cool one. They have really good products, I think.
Mostly New Breed and Vaccine, though, were the 2 big ones that really helped us out.
I'm trying to think of who
gave
else.
us our first shot at having a sponsor.
Yeah. Later on, I did I Want Organics and the Bagel Company once I moved down here.
Oh, ever since then, I mean, I
Jed North.
could make a list of companies that we've worked with and,
Yeah.
and partnered with, and they all send you this, work for this, post
And I think
this.
people, especially like social media kids, they don't understand the power of marketing. So like, if you're just taking a 10% code and you're blasting this company for them, you're getting worked. I mean,
affiliate programs. Sorry to all the companies out there using affiliate programs, but they're horse shit.
if you're
and you know it.
if you're marketing for a company, you should be getting at least something for free.
Yeah, not a sample pack.
No.
Here's 3 samples.
Like what we do with our people at Fitness Society, if we're gonna ask you to do any kind of posting for me, I'm gonna give you a free product.
It's gonna be worth your time.
Because especially from the manufacturer's standpoint, those guys are manufacturing those products for $10, $15. If they can't part with $10 for you to pump their product out there, they're not worth you working for.
Yeah, and if they have 500 affiliates on their team, trust me, they're not paying attention to you as an individual, okay? So,
And
it's
they're giving you 10% to buy off their website. And
yeah, I always see people like, oh, I'm sponsored by this company. And it's like, oh, here's my 10% code. I'm like, oh, okay, it's that kind of sponsor. But
so past that graduation, we kind of got out of the bodybuilding scene. Well,
we took it pretty far. I mean,
you competed all the way up to 19. Well, we both did.
20 was my last show at USA's.
Yeah, because I was in Florida for your last show. I flew up to South Carolina.
Yeah, I did the Pittsburgh Pro. Mm-hmm. Then to USA's in Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah, Kaylee and I flew for both of those.
I don't know how many places. Top 2 got their pro card, and that was my goal in classic physique. And I came, I don't know how many places away in a group of 37 guys. I think I was like top 10.
Yeah.
So I was super stoked about that. But then I knew it was not something that I wanted to just continue to do based off just,
And if you guys want to see any pictures of us on NPC online, you can
We'll throw them up.
Yeah, we'll throw some up, and you can find some.
But yeah, they just after I got out, I realized what it takes, and I realized I didn't really want to be a bodybuilder that bad to mess with my health and mess with my head and everything like that. So I got out of it, and then we both kind of just more so than me got into the business side of it.
And we actually like in between there and there, we actually were really lucky. We got in the nuclear industry, and we both started traveling for work along with Kaylee. And this is where we kind of like accrued the amount of money and saved enough to make enough time to open Fitness Society.
Yeah.
So now we're almost to present day, a year and a half ago now. We started planning. We were in New Jersey, and Brody was actually in Ohio or you might have been moved down, just moved down.
I've been here for 2 years.
Yeah. But we planned out Fitness Society. We have all these like maps drawn out of the store and like the products we thought we were going to carry versus what we're actually carrying.
We knew we were going to own a supplement shop, though.
Yeah.
At least you were going to own it because again, go back to Angelo Francis and Fitness First.
Yeah, we really didn't talk enough.
Ohio.
We didn't really talk enough about that. Let's go back to that.
Angelo Francis, Kristen, they
opened a store, I think 10 years ago, which is
probably 10 years ago.
Kudos to them. That's amazing. It's a long game.
And in Ohio, where we would get our supplements, we go to a vitamin shop because we didn't have anywhere like one of these shops. So Angelo worked at Vitamin Shop.
We met him there.
We got him there. We were always like, this guy's cool. He's cool as hell.
And then he went down the street and opened a store.
Opened his own place, and that totally changed the supplement game in Northeast Ohio.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, everybody knew about Fitness First.
And we were essentially like his groupies. I mean, we hung out, but we also
he just took us under his wing, and
we repped him really, really good.
Yeah. We helped him. He helped us. I mean. And it was just ultimately a really good friendship.
He also coached us in our shows.
Always coached us. Always helped us for our shows. I mean, always did our posing. Yeah, he really did. I mean, I can say that we wouldn't be here right now without Angelo, Francis, and Kristen. They and
it definitely took Dad to like intro us to bodybuilding and stuff, and then Angelo kind of picked up halfway through, and then I would say Ed Connors was even a further push.
Yeah, we were always surrounding ourselves with people though that we knew could were important to have in your circle.
So I think like business and I mean there's life in general where you end up is like a compilation of like who you meet and where you go. So like, we had a dad that was very fitness oriented. So we got into fitness. Then we met Angelo, which owned a store, and he showed us all about the store stuff. And like we learned like somewhat about numbers and where he ordered from and such and how he had his structured. And then we met even further. We met Ed Connors to shoot us into like almost I would say like the bigger scale of the industry, like where you're actually talking to the manufacturers, talking to the guys that are making the stuff,
meeting a lot of the owners, the CEOs and stuff like that,
doing a 187 drops at the Arnold.
I mean, really just
we're not dropping that video.
It's just about surrounding yourself with who you want to be like one day. And
we almost did it like it was almost just like path. It just happened.
Yeah, it came natural. But I think it ultimately was all the smaller decisions we were making put us in those positions to meet those people. And that's why it's so important to be able to make those smart decisions.
So getting a little closer to present day, we were able to work in the nuclear industry. I mean, we went everywhere from PA, Ohio, New Jersey, Alabama, Georgia. I don't know how many times I went to PA and Ohio for plants and jobs. But throughout that time, we knew we didn't want to be in that industry for long because
when you were working outages first, I was working construction.
Yeah,
and I mean, most of our family is ties with construction in Ohio. Obviously, it's very hard, rigorous work, very rewarding. It's a lot of money, but it's also like, do you want to be able to use your shoulders and arms and knees when you're 50, 60 years old? And
that's like the nuke work. Cool. You're making a lot of money, but you're also away from your friends. You're away from your family.
24/7.
You're sleeping in shitty hotels.
12-hour days, 6 days a week.
Your diet is horrible because you're on night shift. You're not used to eating at night. And everything is just backwards about them. You make great money. You get to meet a lot of cool people.
You're going to be lacking in a lot of areas that are
a lot of interesting people. But like your mental state, your diet, your physical state, it goes down the drain for that month.
Energy's gone in the last week.
And then you end up, it's cool having a month or two off, but you end up playing catch up that whole 2 months you're off. And then by the time you're caught up, you're going back to another plant and you don't know exactly where you're going, when you're going.
Yeah. I think another big thing, both our parents, my mom and my dad, they both worked at a power plant full time.
Yeah.
We did
so
contract
again,
work,
like
but they worked there. My mom worked there for over 18 years, I think. Dad worked there for over 15. And we kind of got an idea from them that we knew we didn't want to work in an area like that. We didn't want a desk job. We didn't want to have to work for a company. And they always told us, you guys got to do your own thing pretty much. Like, you don't want to be where we are.
And it's crazy, though, in the nuclear industry, the availability to scale and grow. Like, if you were willing to work those hours,
the
you could make a ton of money.
The incentives there. If you were to work outages, 12 months out of the year, you're making well over $100,000.
Yeah, I mean, you could kill it. But
you could become settled and work there for the rest of your life.
It's a quality of life thing.
Yeah.
Like, we got offered a job in Georgia, and they're like, just move up here. And we were like, no.
My dad worked swing shift growing up, and we got to see that firsthand. 2 weeks on
How
days.
much it ages you
2 weeks
quickly.
on nights. I mean, that's a hell of a schedule. By the time you're getting adjusted to your nights, let's go back to days. By the time you're getting adjusted to days, back to nights. And
it'd be interesting to see what that does to the human body. Like if it was actually like tested pre, mid,
awful.
And post. Like
awful. It's got to be awful throwing your brain and body out of that. Your chemistry is going to be
even
off.
doing a month on nights and a month on days it sucked.
Yeah, and then we just saw how my dad was tired all the time. He essentially hated his job. That wasn't a secret. My mom hated her job, and then
pretty much we saw how much it sucked to be in a corporate job, and we were like, Kaylee and I were like, let's try our hand to open this store. I'm pretty sure we can do it. Like I knew enough people, and that was the big thing. I knew enough people where I was like, okay, we need to find a spot, and we need to find a style, and I can figure out the other stuff pretty easily. Honestly, the stuff that kills me is like the back end stuff, like the POS. The computer stuff, all the weird like certificates and stuff you need with the city.
It's the stuff we didn't learn.
Yeah,
it's the stuff you won't learn. Who would have learned?
That's the fault of the school system. But like, how do you teach? Oh, you're going into the supplement industry. You need this cert. You need this cert. You need this cert.
It's self-learned. It's trial and error. You went to school, Lakeland Community College. You have a bachelor's degree, associate's degree in business.
Mm-hmm. And you still, it like brushes accounting, it brushes QuickBooks, it brushes.
You were about a year away from getting your bachelor's, though, right?
Yeah.
You didn't go the last year.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you didn't learn anything. I mean, you did.
No, I learned a lot. Lakeland was awesome.
But for a specific business like you're running now,
no, that's the thing.
Self-taught. You have to learn it. You have to know people.
You got to write your own book once you get in it. I mean,
yeah, you know, like again, we talked about Fitness First, Angelo, and I know you stayed in contact with him throughout a lot of the process, asking him questions, and he was.
And I mean, I have a few all awesome reps too, like Dalton from Sweat Ethic, Matt from Astroflave. They helped me out a ton, but still,
you still have
your
to
really
do the work.
technical stuff that falls in your POS and the state you're in, all your certs, and like, okay, so like fast forward another year, we're now opening Fitness Society Studios, which we're in right now, and we're going to open. I call Melbourne City. Hey, I want an inspection done. And they're like, oh, do you have your certificate of agriculture for a health studio?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell is that? And it really turns out they just want $300 from you and send us some paperwork.
Yeah.
So you're talking 5-6 sheets of paperwork, check for $300, send it into the state of Florida. You got to wait for that to come back to take that to the city. So the city and county can give you your certificates. And like, where do you read this shit? Like, where is this? Like,
there is no book on.
And then if you do it wrong and call and have them come inspect you, then they yell at you like you should have known. Like, remember the store we put up the wall?
Oh my God, yeah.
The dividing wall we have at Fitness Society that has a pre-workout and the healthy snacks on it. That made us lose a whole month of rent. So we put that up.
How much did it cost to put up? $1,700.
Yeah. So you're talking like.
And we had to almost redo it.
Yeah. So they threatened to tear it down, but. So I called the city when we were opening Fitness Society, and I was like, hey, I want to get my inspection done. The lady on the phone, and this is just a miscommunication, she says, do your setup, call us back, we'll come and inspect you. And I was like, cool, awesome. So I did my setup. I did what I thought I had to do. I called the city. The guy comes out, and he pretty much was like, where the hell did this wall come from? I was like, we put it up. And he's like, did you get it zoned? And I was like, no. I was like, what's that? And he's like, you got to get these places zoned before you do anything like that. So it literally... They put us on a month hold of like more inspections and what to do about the wall. My builder had to go meet with the city. It was a huge mess and like cost way too much money.
It's almost like they try everything in their power for you to not open a business when you're trying to open a business. Nobody works with you, and it's almost like they're all against you.
Yeah, I mean,
making it as difficult as possible. So anybody that has a storefront, anybody that has their own business,
props to you.
Kudos to them, because they literally have to go.
You got to grind it out.
And it's not fun. It's not easy. It takes way more time than you think it's going to. There's always going to be bumps in the road that are going to set you back.
We literally, like, we get fees in the mail. They're like, $50 late fee for not filing this in time. And I'm like, well, how, like, you literally have to find the stuff you have to do. You have to do it. Then you got to make sure you schedule it in your calendar to recertify or redo it so you don't forget and get fined.
And then be ready for the other shit they're going to throw at you.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, just like opening this studio, I mean, we had dates of when we figured we'd have it open, and of course that was pushed back.
I mean, we're getting pretty close though.
We're super close right now, yeah, but I mean, it's been 2 months now of us working on it vigorously, probably, and I mean, just as something as little as ordering all the equipment.
Yeah,
when it was supposed to get
comes
here
in
this
pieces,
day.
Comes in pieces.
Yeah, it was supposed to get here this day. 2 weeks later, it's not here. You know, we were going to do this on the grand opening. Remember that?
I know. Imagine the launch we would have had. All those people here.
Holy shit.
We would have had all those pre-sales, all those signups.
But, you know, shit happens, and they didn't send our equipment till literally they wanted to do it the morning of, I think.
Yeah, and then it got moved to Monday, and then it got moved to Tuesday.
And then when they sent it, a lot of this stuff was in pieces.
And what's funny, 2 months in, we still need a few more things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's never ending.
It's never ending. But we're going to get those few more things and get this thing started hopefully next few weeks.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the studio and like what you think you want to do with it and how you want to angle it.
So basically the studio is going to be, the origin of the studio, we had this spot right here is the supplement shop's literally right next door.
Yeah, so the
walk out
supplement
that door.
supplement
right
store
there.
and we're in the same complex, same building.
So it was empty, and we have a Domino's, funny enough, right there. And
We do eat Domino's.
we love Domino's. Shout out to Domino's.
And Rick for being the
But-
best landlord ever. Oh, Rich for being the best landlord ever.
So it was empty. They were using it for storage. We had some of our stuff from the shop in here. Domino's had some of their shit in here, and they were basically like, he gave us a good deal.
Yeah, it gave us a great deal.
Rich gave us a really good deal on it.
Year lease, like a test, like it's this is pretty much like a testing phase business, like
Yeah.
seeing how it goes.
So he was generous enough to give us a really good deal. So we talked, we brainstormed what we could use this space for, and we're all certified personal trainers. It's what I
Yeah.
do all online. I mean, I'm basically, why wouldn't I?
Kaylee and I were just certified for no reason, just to be certified.
Yeah, my girlfriend Summer's certified. I'm certified. They're all certified. So basically, we're like, well, let's start a studio.
Yeah, and
I've worked at corporate gyms before, and I've been a personal trainer at places, and it's like, you know,
I think we
I
can
saw
provide a much
firsthand-
better service.
I saw firsthand like how poor the people were treated. They
and just like the
they didn't
contracts
get
and
what
stuff,
they
people
needed.
don't like that.
Yeah, BS contracts, people getting money taken out of their accounts,
And
people
I think-
skipping workouts, and
I think people are really gonna like the private, the one-on-one.
Yeah.
And like, I think you can charge a little more for that. You can offer a better quality service. You can offer.
oh yeah,
You can get more
One-on-one.
personal with your client. You know.
Oh yeah, and I think that's huge with people now because when I was working at gyms and stuff, I noticed that a lot of people felt so uncomfortable. It was hard to have a good workout when you feel uncomfortable in a public place, especially a gym.
And a lot do.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a lot of people feel uncomfortable, and a lot of people are not confident enough to go into a gym. But
And
what if it's just an empty room?
It's not
with
just women
me and
either.
you?
I
No.
mean, I have male clients that come in that are like, I don't like being around all those guys taking their shirts off, and I don't like being around these guys grunting and yelling. Which I mean, I
100%.
we grew up in it, so it's a little different to us.
We
Like
grew
it's-
up to the extreme of
Yeah.
it, and I still understand why people wouldn't want to go to a gym if they didn't grow up around that or if they're used to it. They go to these gyms, and I mean the kinds of people that are at these gyms now, they can be overbearing, and they can be so.
I think our camera died.
It's full of space. I'll delete some.
Oh, this one's still going though.
Do you want to just? Is that good? All right, we're gonna keep going. Just a few more minutes.
I could totally see where people don't want to be in a public gym anymore, though. I mean, people screaming. I mean, we have been into the scene. We've been hardcore bodybuilding. I mean, we've pretty much powerlifted before with our lifts and
Yeah.
stuff. We don't scream.
We've
You
gone
don't
through
need-
all. We don't need to slam the weight.
You don't need to slam the weight. You don't need to scream. You don't need to let everybody know that you're there deadlifting.
It gets into a big ego thing, you know.
Yeah, it's a big ego thing. And then you look over and they're deadlifting 315.
yeah. So back to
So we wanted to open up a place that was personalized for that person. They could feel comfortable coming in here. Say they want to come into a place and work out without feeling like they're being maybe looked at, or
Yeah.
they have to compete with the other people around, or they have to hear other people yelling, screaming.
And I think it'll work as a good educational place for them to learn the movements, learn the things, and then move into, you know, a regular gym.
Well, that's always the goal as a personal trainer. You don't want to
Yeah.
just have to hold their hand the whole time. You want to teach them.
Which I mean, those clients aren't too bad.
No, we love those clients. We love the people that need that handheld. But it's also, I love the clients that learn from what you teach them, and you see them implementing it in their day-to-day life even without
Yeah.
you there. So it's, with the studio being totally one-on-one training, well, you know, you're going to get all the focus that you need from a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get that one-on-one true focus.
And I
from your
think
trainer.
I think with all the questions of can we train in there? Can we train in there? Like people wanting to train in here for content. I think the ability for us to scale this into a small boutique gym, so maybe like 5, 6, maybe 10 times the size of this, but still not. It's still not huge. That'd be 10,000 square foot gym, which isn't massive. I think we'd have a big market for a boutique style,
Yeah.
a premium experience, a premium membership at capped memberships. So, you know, you're paying a little more, but you're going to go in knowing that you're not going to have to wait for stuff. And
you're getting more.
you're getting
It's
more.
just going to be all around better.
Higher quality equipment, cleaner bathrooms, cleaner gym. Everyone's into that now since COVID. And I think we could offer a very cool style gym. I don't want to say just like Alpha Elite because Alpha Elite's an animal, but like that similar like boutique style, higher class gym, I think would do really good in this area.
Yeah.
And I also think this area is growing in the direction where people are going to start having money for stuff like that.
And people need damn good training.
People do need good training.
People need good training. I'm tired of people getting gypped for their money.
Yeah.
The amount of money they spend for training, and then I hear what they're getting, or I hear how the training's going, or what, we want.
And you know what's weird about the corporate training too is like, I'll talk to some people that are like paying $1,000 a month and going like, whatever, 4 or 5 times a week. And then I talk to people that are paying $1,000 a month and only going like once or twice a week. And I'm like, well, wait. It's literally like whatever like they can get the person to pay. They're like, cool.
Yeah, it's not, because honestly, sometimes you're going to have to turn away clients.
Yeah.
If you really care about your business
if they don't fit the
bill, then you're not gonna train them, because to be honest, you're not gonna make results from this. And we are not gonna be at fault for you not making the results that you want, and then have possibly a bad review or
me
bad
training
word of mouth.
you, and then you go out there and you're not living it up to the Fitness Society standard. Oh, who's your trainer? You're going to tell people, oh yeah, I get trained at Fitness Society.
Word of mouth is the biggest marketing thing ever.
We want good, strong, motivated people ready to change, ready to make a difference.
People that are serious. And if you can only get in here twice a week, that's fine.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to really.
We're not doing 30-minute sessions.
We're not doing 30-minute sessions.
You can't get anything done.
I'm gonna
in
be
here.
honest with you. If you're doing once a week for 30 minutes, that's not enough. You're
I would like to
no
see
results.
most of our clients on a 3-day-a-week program, 1-hour sessions, very educational, very intense. And then my expectation to them would be they're following their diet outside, and they're also doing some kind of maybe cardio or exercise on their days off.
Oh yeah, that's recommended for every client.
Yeah, if they're really serious about making a change, they need to make it outside of the gym as well.
Unless
as
they're
in.
coming in here 5 days a week and training with us.
Yeah.
Anything less than that, then we're gonna probably expect you to do more outside of the gym without us.
Yeah.
And we're gonna fully expect you to stay on your meal plan. We're gonna fully expect you to do those 15 to 20 minute walks in the morning when you wake up.
Yeah, and the training at Fitness Side Studios is going to be full encompass. It's not going to just be here's your workout and get out of here. It's going to be a whole lifestyle change.
Yeah.
It's going to be training in here. It's going to be meals in the kitchen. It's going to be, like you said, walking in the morning. It's going to be reading a book and visualization and focus on the goal at hand. Because if you don't have a goal and a vision, then you don't have a path. You don't know where you're going.
Yeah. I can write you up a meal plan and a training program and just send you on your way, but
yeah,
maybe 20% of people will follow that if they don't have someone watching over.
You need that. You need the weekly check-ins.
Yep.
You need the structure to it for the person to make the change.
And honestly, the weekly check-ins are just for progress photos. I mean, other than that, it's pretty much day-to-day check-ins. I talk to most of my clients that are online right now every day.
Yeah, Blaine and I were looking at. You can be friends with people on MyFitnessPal, and we'll make sure we do that.
Oh yeah,
because then we can look at what they eat on a day-to-day basis. So we can.
That was a cool thing at Crunch.
Hey, Brody, like, what was this meal you just ate? Like,
that was a cool thing at Crunch that they did.
Not to be like a Nazi, but
right there, you're sitting with your client when you're signing them up. You're making them download MyFitnessPal on their phone.
Yeah,
and then you're literally adding them as a friend right then and there. So we'd sit there. It just holds them accountable. If they can see what you're eating on the weekends when you're not training or with me, it's going to put a little more pressure on the client to perform and to do what they're supposed to be doing. And if they're not, they're going to feel stupid. They're going to be embarrassed.
And they're held accountable. Like consistently held accountable.
Yeah, and we're not here to make you feel stupid or embarrassed. But as a personal trainer, you have goals that you came in here with the first time we met and when you signed up.
You almost have to connect and like share the goal. Like they're like,
yeah.
I want to lose the weight. You're like, all right, I want to help you lose.
We're the rock, we're the support,
Yeah.
we're the knowledge, and we're going to help you get there. But to help you get there, we're going to need some cooperation on both sides. Mostly your side, and that's why we open this. It's our job to make your life change in the way you want it to. But if both sides aren't working together, it's not going to work together.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up here. Do you have anything else you want to throw in here?
No. The studio's going to be open here in a week or two, and
hopefully,
and we're super excited to put out more podcasts like this.
Yeah,
Hopefully once a week.
We're gonna try to stay consistent on this.
Yeah, I think we will, and then
check
put out
out
content.
Fitness Society's website.
Fitness Society on Instagram. It's at Fitness Society Studios. We're gonna do be posting more content on there on the Instagram once we get all the clients in here. Yeah. So, any questions?
No, I think we're good. If you guys have questions for us for future videos, just comment below.
Yeah, send us recommendations. What do you guys want to know about us? What we do, from
How
our
we
past
do.
to our future visions, whatever you want to know.
Yeah.
Send us questions, send us recommendations.
People we should have on here.
Yeah, we can also have people on here. So
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.